Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Justice for Comics. It is Wednesday, October 30th, New Comic Book Day. I want to go over the list of comic books that are coming out next Wednesday. It gives you kind of a preview so that you can kind of plan ahead, maybe call your local comic book shop, reserve a copy, make sure you have it on your pull list, that kind of thing. Kind of a light week. There is not a lot of books that I've found to be that great for next week. So sort of a light week for me, but I'll review it with you and see what you think. Got these in the mail here in the last day or two. First off, Captain America 193. The reason this book is worthy of grabbing is the Mad Bomb storyline. That is the rumored storyline I believe that they're going to be using in the upcoming one of the Marvel MCU movies. I can't remember which one it is. Darn. Maybe it's Scarlet. No, it's not Scarlet Witch. I think this is a planned. What I've read is I think this is a planned movie script that they're going to be based it on this title of Mad Bomb. So this is the first appearance of Mad Bomb, or the beginning of that storyline. So this could be a key book. I noticed a lot of people were posting this on Instagram. There were a couple people that said, yeah, you may want to grab this book while it's still fairly cheap. And it is cheap. I got this for under $20. And it's not in, I wouldn't, it's definitely mid-grade. I would say 6.5 to 7 range. The seller said it was very fine minus. I don't think it's very fine minus. I mean, it's no major creases. Edges are pretty sharp. There's a couple slightly breaking color spine ticks. But, good look. It's a decent looking book. Looks great in a Mylar. It probably could use a pressing. So, I wouldn't grade a book of this caliber. I mean, it's just, it's not an expensive book. At best, let's say this book gets hot, it's mentioned in a top 20 list or top 10 list online. This could be a $30, $40 book. That's the reason I bought it. I just think there's some spec on it. It's a nice Kirby cover of Captain America. So I think Kirby had a run of like 190, I think 174 to like 210 or something like that. So there's a lot of these for sale on eBay. I think you can still pick it up for, a decent grade, kind of the grade I got, somewhere between $15 to $25. If you want high grade, you're going to be north of $50 on this book. There's a couple CGC graded books. I saw a 9.6 online for like $300. So, I don't think I would buy a graded copy of this. I'd try to buy the highest raw grade you can get if you really think this book is going to blow up. I just think, I paid like $15 for this with shipping, and I think there's a good chance it could be worth $30 to $40 without too much trouble. So that's the reason I picked it up. And it's kind of a cool book to have in the collection. I may decide to keep it and not sell it, but just kind of a cool looking book. So thought I'd mention that one. Also, another one that I think could be getting a lot hotter is Justice League #1. This is, I don't know if it's considered volume 2, or I'm not too sure what volume it's considered, but this is the 1987 relaunch of Justice League. The importance of this book is it's the first appearance of Max Lord. He is the rumored villain in the Wonder Woman 1984 movie that's going to be coming out early next year. So the time to buy this book is now. I mean, I got this really, really cheap. I think I paid under $10 for this. And this one's in really good grade. I would easily call this a 9.4 to 9.6. It's in really, really nice shape. So I think you can still find these. I looked around local comic book shops. I've been on some online stores. No one had it. It's sort of this is going to be a tough book to find in a back issue bin, I think. I don't know why, but I couldn't find it. I checked out several comic book stores, couldn't find it. I got one on, eBay. You can find copies, no doubt about it. But I think if you're hunting out in the wild, I think it's a little harder to find these. So I think that's a good book to pick up based on the Wonder Woman movie. And Max Lord is confirmed to be the villain. So that's his first appearance. All right, guys, so let's jump into it here. The books that are coming out next Wednesday that I'm taking a look at. For Dark Horse, I do like this Berserker Unbound #4. That is your regular A cover by Deodato. Nice cover. I read the first 2 issues. I enjoyed it. I think it's worthy of to keep going with it. So I like Jeff Lemire, and you got a nice artist by Deodato doing the artwork. So you also have a nice B cover by Christian Ward. It's pretty cool. I like the A cover a little bit better. I think I'm just going to go with the A cover on that. I'm not familiar with this Crone #1. I read the description on it. I guess it's, I don't know, what was it again here? The sword's savior and champion of men, once known as Bloody Bliss, is now nothing more than a reclusive old crone. Does she have the strength to answer the call for one last adventure? I don't know. It's sort of like instead of Old Man Logan, you got Old Woman Crone. So, I don't think I'm going to buy that one. I think I'm going to pass on that. But, again, Midtown knocks me out of where I was, so I got to get back here. Okay. I think that does it for Dark Horse for me. There was nothing else there that I really was looking at. For DC, Batman 82. This was a tough call as to what cover to buy. You've got a nice A cover by Finch. It's also an acetate cover. And you've got a nice cardstock cover by Travis Charist, however you pronounce his name. They're both nice covers. I decided to go with the A cover here. Just kind of, I like Finch, and I just think that's a really cool image of Bane. So I just went with the A cover. That was kind of a tough call, though. All right, let's move down the list. Deathstroke 49, that's definitely scan covers. I pre-ordered that in advance, so I'll be getting that in my pre-order list. What else we got here? I don't know much about this Green Lantern Black Stars. Got Grant Morrison, who's been writing Green Lantern. I don't know if that's a buy or a pass or not. I'm not too sure. So I'll have to give that some thought. That one you may want to just check out at your local shop before purchasing. Infected King Shazam, I pre-ordered that. I think that should be good. I don't think Cena Grace is the greatest writer, but they did have a good setup for this. So, I'm interested to see where it goes. Joe Bennett, who does Immortal Hulk, is doing the artwork, interior artwork, so that could be good. So I pre-ordered that in advance. Year of the Joker #1, the Brian Boland cover. There's some people that really like that cover. If you missed it, I guess Midtown has it available for sale. Supposedly this is like a 1 per store type of cover. Hence why that's probably why the price is a little bit more expensive, $17. But it's not too expensive. But I just like a lot of other covers before this one. So I'm not saying this is a terrible cover, but it's not good enough for me to spend $17 on. Justice League #35. I think it's been a good storyline with the Legion of Doom, Lex Luthor, how he's trying to take down the Justice League. You've got a nice Alburquerque variant or regular cover there, so I'd probably go with the regular cover. A lot of people like Kirkham. It's not a bad cover. I just think the A cover is a little bit better. Let's move down the list here. It might be it for DC for me. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything else I'm looking at. I do like this cover of, I don't normally buy trade paperbacks, but that one looks interesting. Luthor. I'm assuming this might be collecting a run. Let's see here. Yeah, it really doesn't indicate if it's a run of something that was already in comics. This might be a new story, just in a trade paperback. So I may check that out online first before before I would buy it. But it's a cool looking cover. And Bermejo, I always say Bermejo is the artist. So he's pretty good. I don't care usually for Brian Azzarello. In fact, I used to collect 100 Bullets for a long time. I had a good run of 100 Bullets, and I just didn't care for his writing style. I thought it was very boring. I ended up selling them all, and I know that some of those go for pretty good money now. I just didn't care for his writing style. Just my personal opinion on that. Dynamite Entertainment. Kiss Zombies. I've been collecting some of the Kiss stuff in the past, mainly just for really cool covers. There isn't a cover that's really knocking my socks off, so I guess if there was one, this $25 incentive cover is pretty cool, black and white. I'm just not a big enough of a Kiss fan to spend that kind of money on that type of book, so probably going to pass on that. Red Sonja, Vengeance of Vampirella. I'm going to probably pass on all that stuff. Let's see here. We're now into IDW. Don't think there's anything there that... I know a lot of people have been collecting these Marvel Action incentive covers. I don't know. I guess that Venom one is just gone crazy. People are paying like $100 for that thing. I just think that's stupid. Long term, I don't think those books are going to be worth much, but people are buying them. Image, Dead Eyes #2 is out. I got to check and see if I pre-ordered that. I can't remember if I pre-ordered that book. And of course, you don't see what the B cover looks like. I may have to Google that and see if they have it up. Sometimes you can Google Image and put the title in there, and it'll sometimes have it available on Google Images. But Midtown doesn't have the cover there, so it's a little bit more money too, $12.75. But I think that's been a good book, good read. Die #9, I've got that on my pull list or on my pre-order list. I think the A cover by Hans is the way to go. Nice A cover. This B cover is interesting. I don't know. Miguel Muerto. Doesn't his name mean death in Spanish? Muerto? I think it does. Miguel Death. It's kind of an interesting, I kind of like this cover. I don't know, it's growing on me. So that may be one to take a look at. Manifest Destiny, I used to collect that. I ended up collecting it through like issue 30 or 34. Maybe 35, but I think it was maybe through 30. I think I stopped at 30. Just kind of, I don't know. The story was okay. It seemed a little repetitive. I believe they're ending this series pretty soon. I don't know if it's issue 40 or 50. I think at issue 50 they might be ending this, so only 12 issues to go. Nomen Omen #2. I liked the first issue. I thought it was good. It was a good read. I might pick up the second issue just to see if it continues to be good. There's 2 covers there. They're both pretty good. Usually I go with the A cover. This is more of a manga style artwork, so I'd probably go with the A cover on that one. And, there is a C cover too. It's kind of a cool C cover. I don't know, I'm inclined to go with the C cover, actually. I think that's the better cover to get. Sonata #6. I know this got options, so this book might be hot. I know the first issue has been pretty hot lately. I think that's a $10 to $15 book. The B covers have been really good. I don't know what this creature is, but it's crazy looking. I've only read the first 2 issues, so I'm not really up to speed on that series. Spawn 302. Pick the cover you like. Looks like McFarlane's doing most of the covers. Well, pretty much all the covers. I don't see anybody else doing a cover, so I believe I pre-ordered that in advance. Undiscovered Country #1 comes out. Charles Soule and Scott Snyder doing the writing, and Kamikoli is doing the artwork. Pretty good early buzz. It's already been optioned, which doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean it's going to be turned into a movie. It just means somebody liked it enough to throw 20 grand at these guys and said, yeah, if we want to reserve the right to turn this into a movie if we decide to later. That's all that means. It doesn't mean it's going to be turned into a movie. It's just optioned, which means somebody bought the right to be able to do it if they decide to down the road. There is a cool Midtown exclusive cover by Scan. I'm a big fan of Scan. I think his artwork is awesome. $15. I've already bought a couple exclusive variants on this. One of them is by John Gallagher. The other one I can't remember, but I'm kind of maxed out on buying exclusive covers on that book. So I do like the Scan variant though by Midtown, so it's pretty cool. And then I guess they have a Virgin of the same cover for $25. So then you got your A cover by Kamikoli. You've got your B cover by Jock, and then you've also that's it. Yeah, just those covers. I think that's it for Image. Moving on to Marvel. I did pre-order this Absolute Carnage Weapon Plus. Nice cover by Scan. Again, he's an awesome cover artwork or artist, and I think the cover is pretty nice. Interested to see what they do with that. There's also a B cover by Scalera. I definitely like the A cover way better, so I'm going to go with that. Continuing with Marvel, not collecting Amazing Spider-Man, not collecting Black Cat. Daredevil 13, definitely a must-buy. Chip Zdarsky doing the writing. Cicchetto's doing the art. And you've got beautiful covers by Tedesco. The 1, 2, 3 punch. You can't go wrong with that book. I think it's one of the better Marvel books being put out right now is Daredevil. Doctor Doom #2. I did not pick up Doctor Doom #1. I kind of heard it was okay. I don't know. Villain books usually don't do well. Long term for investment. They first appearances they do okay, but ongoing titles, this will probably go. My guess is Doctor Doom will go maybe 10 issues, 12 issues, and it'll get canceled. So, not going to really put any money into that. If I want to read it, I'll just read it online digitally. Okay, moving down the list here. Ghost Rider #2. There's a nice Clayton Crane cover. I do like that cover. It should be good. Brisson is usually a good writer, so I'm hopeful that that's going to be a good series. Mortal Hulk #26, that's on my pull list for sure. Well, I've been talking about that in my recent videos, though, that Mortal Hulk is definitely not as good as it was. I think the first 5, 6 issues were really, really good, and it's sort of been a little disappointing since then, but still overall not bad. Pretty decent read. All right, you got New Mutants #1. I did see a review of Excalibur #1. It was not very good. In fact, it was so bad I decided not to buy that issue. I'm going to wait to see a review on New Mutants before buying that, so I'm not chasing that one right now. Old Man Quill #11. Think this ends at issue 12. I've not been collecting this, but I'm definitely going to go back and read it in trade. I think Ethan Sachs does a pretty good job with these with the series. I've heard good things about it, so I definitely want to read it. Savage Avengers #7. Only one cover there. Cool cover by Zurcher. Elektra coming at you. Very cool. Spider-Man Venom Double Trouble. I don't know what this is about. just, I guess maybe just a team-up book. Let's see, cover looks kind of like an animation type cover. Yeah, there's a lot of covers. There's an incentive cover. I would imagine that incentive cover is probably going to be hot. Jen Bartel, $42 though. I don't know. See, I am reluctant to buy an incentive cover, especially when I don't even know what the cover looks like. Then I'm definitely a little wary of doing that. So just be careful on that kind of stuff. All right, let's move down the list. X-Force, I don't know if that book's any good. I'm going to watch a review on that before deciding to buy it. A lot of covers there to pick from. Yandu, I don't think that book's going to be very good. I'm going to do a hard pass on that. All right, I think that's it for Marvel. Independence. Let's do some loading here. Don't think there was much in the independent world that caught my eye. Most of it seems to be the same old thing. Electric Black #3. Yeah, it's kind of a cool glow-in-the-dark cover. They want a little bit more money for it, $6. I believe I pre-ordered that. So that might be worth grabbing. Again, this stupid thing. All right, let me go shortcut it here. All right, I'm back to where I was. Electric Black #3. Grim Fairy Tales. Usually I pass on that unless there's some crazy cover. It looks awesome. I usually pass on all that. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of a light week. Not a ton of stuff coming out that I'm excited about. I definitely would say it's a light week next week. That might be it, guys. There's this Magicians #1 by Boom Studios. A cover's pretty nice. B cover's decent. I'm gonna read it online first before deciding to buy that. I don't know if that's gonna be good or not, but I'd like to check it out first. Niobe, She Is Death #1. I love this A cover. I definitely pre-ordered that in advance. Stranger Comics. They've got some really cool books. I've got that Untamed #1 variant that, it's a pretty high-end book now. They produce a really nice comic book. I mean, we're talking really thick cardstock paper, really good ink. I mean, you could definitely sniff the inside of this comic book and get high. It's got a lot of ink in it. So it's a really, really good, well quality. I mean, and for $3.99. So, Marvel ought to be embarrassed. The paper they use, the covers, the quality that Marvel puts out is absolute shit. And if you buy the Stranger Comics book, you will be absolutely impressed of how good and quality the book is. The paper, everything. I mean, it's phenomenal. And it's at the same exact price point. So that tells you everything you need to know about Marvel. They don't give a crap about the comic book buyer. Once and Future, 7th printing. It's hard to believe this book is at a 7th printing now. I mean, really, we need to do a 7th printing. Not everyone doesn't have this book by now. I mean, I thought when you're at a 4th printing that would be it. I don't know. I think Boom Studios is kind of milking that cow a little too much. I think they're definitely taking advantage of it. That's my opinion on that. I don't think we need to have a 7th printing on that book. I do like the cover to Pussycats, Eat Death or Get Naked. You got to love the title of that, Eat Death or Get Naked. Pretty cool. I can't buy that book, though. It's just a little too gratuitous. Let's see. I think that might be it. Rick and Morty. I'm not picking this up. I stopped collecting Rick and Morty a while ago, but I do have a good run of Rick and Morty. I think the first 35 issues I have every issue of Rick and Morty. It's funny. It's a good book. It's TV show's better, I think. I mean, some people think the comic book's darker. That may be true, but the TV show, it's coming out next month in November. I don't know the exact date. I think it's middle of the month, but definitely Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, you got to watch Rick and Morty Season 4. You know, these guys, it's been 2 years since Season 3. So, unfortunately, Dan Harmon and Justin Leonard. Is it Justin Leonard? That doesn't sound right. Isn't he a golfer? Justin, I think it's Justin Leonard. You know, they're brilliant, but these guys don't exactly move very quickly. They're probably smoking weed all day and eating Doritos, so they're not exactly putting out the cartoon series on time. I mean, most of the fans have complained that, 2 years we've been waiting for Season 4. So, and supposedly they are signed up to do 9 seasons from Cartoon Network. There's no way in hell they're going to do 9 seasons. No way. I don't think we're going to see another season out of them. I think, this is my prediction, I think the 4th season of Rick and Morty will be the last season. And then that'll be it. Unless they turn it over to somebody else and let them do the creative and, that kind of thing. Unless they decide to do that, if it's those 2 guys doing the writing, no way. There's no way we're going to see a 5th season. So that's just my little prediction on Rick and Morty. I'm a big Rick and Morty fan, if you can't tell. All right, guys, I think that might be it. I think the rest is all just, Something is Killing the Children. Another one of these books by Boom Studios that they are printing the crap out of, a 5th printing. I think it's a little ridiculous. I don't think it needed to go beyond a 3rd printing. I mean, the book sold well, but I don't think it sold that well for it to go to that many printings. 5th printing, it just seems a little ridiculous to me. Strange Skies Over East Berlin, #2. I think that book's worth grabbing. I've not read the 1st issue, but I heard some good things about it. I saw a couple of reviews online, and they gave it high props, so I think that book is worth grabbing. And I think that might be it. This Wasted Space, I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I'm a big fan of Vault Comics. That Heathen book is a really good book. I may go back and I'm going to read Wasted Space online first and see if it's good. If it is, I may pick up some of those back issues because I've heard a lot of people say it's a pretty good comic book. White Widow, I'm going to pass on all that. Wretches, #1, another Scout comic book. Low print run. A lot of times they sell out. I don't know if this is any good yet. I may flip through it first before deciding to buy it, but that may be one to keep on your radar. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it, guys. So that's your review of comic books coming out next Wednesday. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Share my videos if you can. It helps me grow my channel. Make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Maybe there was a book on there or a couple books on there that I should have highlighted that I didn't. Let me know that in the comments. Look for my next video probably tomorrow night. Usually I've been consistently doing a Thursday night. I call it Whiskey, Cigars, and Comics. So it's me basically out on my back porch, drinking some whiskey or bourbon and smoking a cigar and just talking off the cuff about comic books and anything comic book related. So I usually get about 15 to 20 people that join me on the chat, and we have a good time. We're talking about comic books. It's definitely light fare, so you may want to check that out tomorrow evening. Usually, I'll probably do it around 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so look for that. And then also on Friday, I'll have another video out highlighting the Hot 10 list from CBSI and also the top 20 list from Cover Price, sort of the books that are on the move this week. And I'll go over that. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.